Alive today, and of course we are not alone. We're going to be talking about regional agitations in Nigeria on today's episode of the Elders' Opinion. What has caused the uprising of different regions? Why would different regions decide that they want to agitate for an individualistic and independent society within Nigeria? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And of course I'm not alone. I am here with a guest. He is a very honorable person in our midst. Chief Akinyemi, Akinyemi, or Akinbiyi, an elder statesman. We are going to be meeting him shortly. Please stay tuned with us after this break. Alright, so welcome back from the break. Today we have in our midst, like I told you earlier, we're going to be having Chief Akinyemi. I got that right. And so we're going to be talking about regional agitations in Nigeria. A lot of different regions in Nigeria have decided now that they're agitating for an independent state. We have the southwest agitating for Oduwa, and the southeast for Biafra, the north even for Arewa. So we are wondering what exactly will be the cause. Why will different regions decide that they do not want to have a united Nigeria anymore, sir? Okay.
Thank you very much. My friend from Akwa Ibom. Now, a lot of things have been wrong. Ab initio, I just want to give a brief something to show that all the regions had their own time of wanting to get out of Nigeria.
Okay, sir.
In 1959, as we were told, that was the first election that the British superintended over to bring in who was supposed to be the Prime Minister, the President.
Okay.
That's after the era of Governor General.
Okay.
Now, the Northerners, especially the Emirs, were very friendly with the British.
Okay.
And the British also, they believe in something. They believe in helping who their friends are. That means loyalty. So when the election of that 1959, I just want to tell you that even the Northerners started this agitation.
Okay.
That 1959, the Governor General wanted to say, okay, let's go back. That was before the independence. The Northerners, because they were friendly with the British, told the British, look, if we are not going to be the ones that will be ruling Nigeria, you better forget it. We will not be part of that. But the British thought, look, if these people want to go, they don't have anything. Okay, let us try and play the South, that means the Easterners, and the Westerners. That's the likes of Baba Awolowo, the likes of Dr. Azikwe in the East. But Dr. Azikwe, because he had problems with his own bank, the British blackmailed his bank was Africa ACB,
Okay.
Africa Continental Bank. They were in debt, and therefore the British used that to blackmail him, to say, we know you cannot fund election, no, therefore, and if you are not careful with this your bank, you will go to prison. So you have to cooperate with us. So eventually they got the Northerners back into the arrangement because they wanted to go. Now let me put a stop to, just to let you know that they at a time wanted to go, unless, and after all said and done, they became the prime minister.
Okay.
The president at that time, Dr. Azikiwe, was just a ceremonial president who cannot even give orders to the armed forces. The power lies with the prime minister. That was Tafawa Balewa. Fine. So all went on and on. We were in this Nigeria. Then came Awolowo wanting to be, and the rest is history, how he was treated. But don't forget, Awolowo led the Western region very well.
Yes, sir.
And as such, he had a lot of followership. In the East, Azikiwe also had his. But all said and done, the power, whether we like it or not, still remain with the Northerners. And in addition, the Northerners are saying, look, this Danfodio thing that came as far as to the north, it is our entitlement to go as far as to the lagoon. We must conquer everybody, and therefore Nigeria belongs to us. But the Southerners, who are the landlubbers of their land, have said, how can you drive us away from our ancestral land? So don't forget the issue of the Fulani. So it was part of the reason why some regions want to go. The herdsmen came over to the south, almost wanting to take their land.
Yes.
So the people in the east rose against it.
Okay.
The people in the west rose against it. So that's one issue. The other issue is the constitution itself.
Yeah.
It is a wrong constitution, if you ask me.
Okay.
Because a normal constitution should come from the people.
Yeah.
And when it is going to be written, it will be written, we the people. I was upset, the one that Abacha brought in, he just dusted something and just gave it to us.
Okay.
And there are a lot of flaws
Within the constitution.
within the constitution. So, the constitution, again, is a source of agitation because the rulership, which had always gone to a section of the country, is now going to be challenged, and some of the backings, in a way, come from the skewed, I would say, constitution. And don't forget the Biafran War. Even though the elders that fought in that Biafran War are afraid to start another one, the young ones
have risen up
because what the stories that the young ones, especially in this digital age where they can go into internet and
social media
and get stories.
Yes.
And our people in Yoruba says, Bomadi Obatan. Aroba is the king of history. So they've read it how some of their fathers, mothers, brothers were treated. So naturally, they will not be happy about it. So that is another one side of it. Now, if the rulership, instead of now coming up with things that will, with measures that will not look like
involve
a section
yes.
of the country is being marginalized, there wouldn't be cause for any Biafra, Biafra thing. The same thing goes with the West. Somebody has come to invade our own reserved bush in the name of Hausa Fulani thing. And they are raping, kidnapping, and you expect people to say, we are happy with that. So we got to a stage, the Biafrans feel marginalized.
Yeah.
The Westerners also feel marginalized, and the rulership does not help matters. If you look at the appointments, security appointments, 90%
is in the north.
Ministerial appointment, mostly in the north. All the parastatals. You know, there was one statistics I was going through in one of these internet things. It's there for everybody to see. So people will think, look, if we cannot now sit down to negotiate our future, then we better go our separate ways. So the solution to this problem is for us to sit down
and decide
and have a populist constitution that we will say the Igbo man, Yoruba man, the Hausa man. In fact, it's the Hausa man we know before. He is now the first of all coined it Hausa Fulani. Now it is now Fulani. So if it is Fulani that will sit down with us, let there be dialogue. So that is the cost of the agitation. A lot. People have been marginalized.
Yeah.
People have not been brought into the fold to be part of Nigeria. For anybody to beat his or her chest to say, yes, I'm a Nigerian. If that is absent, people will want to go their separate ways.
No, but like you have said, the agitations are very valid from what you have said. I can gather that they are very valid. So the Igbos, via the Biafran
yes.
unity or union, want a state on their own. But are you going to say that, or can we say that they are going about it the right way? Or because we have now the populace, the people, and we also have the government. So who is going about this the right way and who is not going about it the right way? For example, we have Nnamdi Kanu, who is leading the
yes.
independent people of Biafra, who has been several times in court and has been has had some court sessions and trials, and he still goes ahead. He still and then we also have the government maybe listening or not listening to the people. So who do you think is going about it the right way, and what changes can be effected for us to have a voice?
I could tell you that even in recent time, you know, they've just done the Anambra election.
Yes, sir.
Before that election, you know, everybody was apprehensive that will this be a poor boys and all that? Will they let and the voice of reasoning, their elders, they went in what to see and dialogue with those boys. And what happened after that? They listened. And then the election held. Ken Saro Wiwa from South. You know it was murdered. All right. Before then, he was just a writer.
Yes, yes.
Through his writings, he was bringing forth the agitation of his people. What was the result? Did they listen? In the end, they killed him. Now, in a system, in fact, what is common now in Nigeria, you know, is that when workers tell their bosses, please give us our entitlement, they don't listen until eventually what happens?
There's a protest and uproar.
There's a protest. There's a what is it commonly? People protest. People go on
social media.
Yes. They go on strike. That's what I wanted.
Okay, strike.
And until when they go on strike, it is then when the leadership will start or be forced
to answer
to do something. Is that right? Now going back to the IPOP thing. Before IPOP there was a MASOP. MASOP were not as deep-rooted as IPOP is now. They were not violent. But one thing led to the other. These people started crying, we are marginalized. Out of that, we fought a war, our people were killed. Nobody is listening. Instead, you went and brought full force to wanting to quell them. What do you think will result from that? There will be
more
passive resistance, which will lead to people going underground. Underground movement is what has led to IPOP. Coming back to our southwest here, people in Okeogun and Oyo State, for instance, were crying. These people have invaded our land. They are raping our women. We can't go to farm. Farming is our mainstay. We can no longer do anything. Government come and save us. Nobody listened. Until when the young man, Sunday Igboho, decided that we've had enough of this. If I will kuku die, let me die. Let me go and defend these people. I think some measures which ought to have been taken by government were not taken, and that will always lead to
more uproar.
Yes, and that is what exactly. The solution to all this is dialogue. If the leadership refuses to dialogue, they are not going anywhere. Part of the dialogue should be a new constitution. This eraser and pencil type of working of the constitution should not be encouraged. Let's sit down. Okay, how do we go about it? Let's have a brand. All these people that are in the National Assembly, they are just going there for their own selfish interest. Once you get there, you forget those that have sent you. Then you become a different group entirely that does things that are not in favor of those that have sent you there. That is the situation.
You know, so from everything you have said, there's this recurrence of Biafra, then there's Udua, we want this. So where do you think Arewa is coming from? Why would you not? Because clearly the Northerners are the people who have been in rulership, in power for a longer period of time since the existence of the country. So why would the Northerners also want an independent nation within Nigeria?
You know, at the beginning of our conversation,
Yes, sir.
I told you that the Northerners also wanted to opt out if they cannot be the leaders. Now, they've seen the handwriting. They also in the North have been disappointed with the leadership. That
People they have sent in there.
yes, he's not doing.
What the sense?
At least if these people are, at least he should do things to amend situation, appointments and things like that. Distribute it around. Now when they now saw that the cries and the wahala from the IPOB peoples and all that cannot be taken for granted again. In the West, their cries cannot be taken for granted again. They are now also saying, if they want to go, let them go. I think that is just a political statement. That if they want to go, let them go. But if they say so, we won't blame them. Everything that belongs to this country, the military, the agriculture, everything has been syndicated to the North. All the military bases in the North.
And it's this same Northerners that in June 6, now 2017, had caused a problem with the southeast people within the North that said gave them an ultimatum to leave their place as of October 1st, 2017.
That one, you know, Igbos are very vibrant people. Go all over the world. If you go to Polar region today, you will find an Igbo Nigerian there. Most of the commerce that is in the North
Dominated by the Igbos.
Out of how do I put it? Jealousy is not the right word that I want to use. If you are doing better than
in my own city,
I will want a way to discourage you. And don't forget there was I won't call it war, or was it war in the past, when before the Biafra war, when the Igbos were massacred in the north, that a lot of them had to. Maybe they wanted to use that as a scare something, but I don't think in the present Nigeria, except west is west, east is east, and north is north. And we will need to get passport from one region to get to the other, visa to get to the other, and then that is when they can make such statements that you have to leave.
Of course.
For us.
So because with all of this, it has been a very difficult time in Nigeria for the Southeasterners, like we can say. And so I'm wondering now, there's definitely going to be an economic tension with this, because, for example, at that time, some Igbo people, some Southeasterners would have had cause to live there with their businesses as the leading commercial people in the country. They would have left there with their businesses, to back to their place, and that would cause, somehow a downfall of those businesses and all. So with the with everything, the tension that is caused by the agitations Biafra is putting up, when their trials are on and roads are blocked and all of that, what impact has this got to do with the economy of the nation?
I told you before, Igbo is a vibrant man. They fought a war. See them all over the place again. You come to this Ibadan, you are on the war road. The Igbos have almost taken over the war road. And so they are like that all over Nigeria. When you drive them from a spot, they go to another, they fight. And don't forget their own system. They have a special system of doing their business. An apprentice will serve a master.
Yeah.
After serving him, the master
Establishing
will establish him.
Mm-hmm.
He will make, and they go to these their is it monthly meetings, where if you are in need of money, they will grant you loan. That's why they are buying things all over the place. Whereas in other clients, you serve your master, you go and find money to come and take your freedom. So that is why their economy is booming all over the place. They drove them away from the north, the other time. They are still there. So talking of economy, I don't think that is much. It has done much. I don't think so. In Lagos, they are there. And the system in Lagos is such that they are more tolerant. See Joe Ibokwe, commissioner, and so on and so forth. He's also looking after his brothers. All these Alaba and those first town. They are formidable there with their businesses. So
alright, so we've been having an elder statesman in our midst. No other person but Chief Akinbiyi Akinyemi in our midst. And we're going to be going on a short break, and when we are back, we will continue our discussion on the regional agitations in Nigeria. Do stay tuned. here on your favorite radio station, Cream TV. We are on the Elders' Opinion. Today talking on regional agitations in Nigeria. We're discussing Biafra in the southeast, we're discussing Oduwa in the southwest, and of course we're discussing Arewa in the north. And here, our guest still with us, Chief Akinbiyi Akinyemi. Thank you for having us, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. So, looking at everything we have discussed before the break, will you say that the leaders, the likes of Sunday Igboho, the likes of Nnamdi Kanu in the east and Sunday Igboho, will you say that they are reflecting the decisions and the people, they're reflecting the desires of the people well? Are they carrying out what the West wants? The West wants an independent society, the East wants an independent society too. For example, before, we had the Civil War before in 1966, and then the Biafran Society started in 1967 up to like 1970. And before then, they had decided that Njuka had decided that they should leave and they should allow Nigeria to go on smoothly, since it wasn't looking like the leaders were going to accept. So, but for people to rise up again, for the youth to rise up again, are they properly reflecting the desires of their people?
You see, it is neither here nor there. Why am I saying this? Take for instance the IPOB man, Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu, I believe, is a child of the circumstance there.
Yeah.
Being the child of the circumstance there does not mean everybody believes in his method.
Of course.
He was lucky that, you see, these days, analog days is quite different from digital days. Is in the digital
Age.
era, where he was able to market his information quickly. And who are going to be the listeners? The youth. So a lot of youth are in this, mostly unemployed. Why they came in with him? So, what do we have to lose? But the elders there don't believe
In the fight
that is the way
to go.
to go. Even though they might be agitating, they are not strictly saying that's the best procedure. And that is why there has been the so seeming rift between all the governors there and the people, and the elders body, the Ohanizi, coming back to Sunday Igboho. I told you, he is also a circumstantial phantom, because he came in when he could no longer stand his people being raped. They couldn't go to farm. Nothing is moving. But before Sunday, don't forget, some people have been clamoring for Odua.
In the West.
Late fashion, who started the Odua, which was later snagged by Gani, Adams and all that. They have all their different fashions. The idea was to protect the people of Odua's interest. And don't also forget, out of the blue that time came our professor. The professor who is leading the Ilano group, we call it the Ilano group now, because of his background. I don't think he believes in violence, force for force. He has been able to carry the cause of this Yoruba very far, up to the United Nations, through diplomatic processes.
Yes.
Meaning that basically Yoruba, the Easterners, want their situation in Nigeria to be redressed. Kano's method may not be the totality of what people support. Sunday Igboho's method, for instance, in the West now we have two methods. One is Sunday Igboho's
method.
But even Sunday Igboho's method is not violent. Because from what we have been able to read of him, he was not carrying any gun. He did not,
Carry weapons.
though government will cite inciting laws, they are making things very uncomfortable. So, his own, not that everybody, because some school of thought believes in dialogue rather than agitation.
Yes.
And because of that dialogue, they think a lot could be achieved by everybody sitting down
And
discussing. In the East, there are some people that don't like the method of IPOB. I, for one, I don't like it. But it's not that what they are fighting for. One should miss the point. Sunday Igboho, what he's fighting for? He's fighting for his people. Don't let's forget that. But the method may be what everybody may not. Others are saying, look, it's better for us to go in for restructuring. You understand? Those that are agitating for restructuring, part of that is that constitution that I'm talking about. Because there's no way you want to restructure that you won't touch on the constitution. So, some people think the way to go is dialogue through restructuring. Others are saying, no, we have to fight our war, to draw attention, because these people don't want to sit down to dialogue with us. Therefore, let us fight it out. Maybe they will listen, because at the end of the day, where the leadership must listen if we don't want war in this country, there has to be dialogue.
Okay.
Yes.
So we are agitating now for dialogue. The government has to pay attention to her citizens, and the citizens are trying to make their voices loud and clearer.
Course,
So
yes.
whatever it is that they want for their people can be carried out.
Yes.
Also, in a situation where government now decides that, okay, calls on everybody, calls on the West, calls on Udua, calls on Arewa, calls on people of Biafra, and says, let's discuss, let's have a dialogue, let's see what can happen with this. What do you think will be made? What do you think can come off Nigeria if Nigeria has independent states of its own? If these people decide to break out on their own, what do you think they can gain from their survival? What will their survival look like?
If you ask me, what has caused the agitation for wanting to go are all what I've described.
Yeah.
But I have always known that there is strength in number, in unity. You understand? If we are together, we can negotiate better as Nigeria. If we go our different ways, we are starting all over.
From the scratch.
Take for instance what has happened. European Union, Brexit. Brexit, with all this their British law, is now just trying to find their feet. So there is no way you cannot expect, if any region breaks away, we don't expect things to go 100%.
Yes.
We don't. Because over the years, there has been strength in unity. But the problem
It's still there.
is the leadership. If they cannot sit down, there is an advantage in our being together. Now, let us address our problems. If they want to do it, they can do it. They know how to call themselves. This our National Assembly is just a national cake platform. But if they want them to do a serious job, all this padding that they are doing, constitution amendment, which they are giving each other money to plan, is not what is good for us. Yes, if they want to be the representative of the people, truly, it could still be done. Lawyers will know how to make sure that it works, and we all sit down to discuss our future, to discuss our relationship together. Huh? So that is the way out. Otherwise, if this agitation problem is allowed to continue to linger, the agitation in the East, it almost affected the future there in Anambra. Because imagine if they don't vote in a new government, what will happen? Meaning that the system will gradually collapse. And as such, it's not in anybody's way. So the earlier we nip these agitations
The better.
the better. And our politicians, they know what to do, but self-interest, horse trading for favor is what is making them not to do the right thing. They know. They know.
Alright, so it's been an amazing time here on the Elders' Opinion. Today we have been with, again, Chief Akinbiyi Akinyemi. Yes, and of course he's an elder statesman. We've got to hear opinions and his views on the regional agitations happening and ongoing in Nigeria. We have stated that Nigerian is it's not just the southeast that have agitated or that is agitating for an independent society. Other regions of the nation are also agitating for an independent society. And so this is from the elder statesman, from Chief Akinbiyi. We are saying that the government can give a listening ear to the cries of the people, and of course encourage dialogue. And so with all of these, we are very much prone and we will be a step ahead in having a more sustainable Nigeria. We will see you some other time, and don't forget to follow us on Cream TV, Cream Radio and TV. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, and we are on YouTube at Cream Radio and TV. Thank you for having us. My name is Ekbuku Tibe, and I'm your host. See you some other time.